We all want to live happy and fulfilling lives, lives that are rich with memories and experiences that we can look back on with joy. But how do you actually create that life? How do you go from the life that you have right now to living the life that you want to live? That's what I'm going to be talking about today. Hi, I'm Scarlett Cochran, and this is One Big Happy Life, where we are all about helping you create the life that you want while building wealth along the way. Today, we're talking about what makes a happy life and how do you create a happy life for yourself. And I'm also going to be touching on the core areas that we really focus on here at One Big Happy Life, core areas that I believe are an essential part of creating the life that you want. Let's talk about what it means and what it takes to live a happy life. And I thought we'd start out by defining what I mean by a happy life. Now, living a happy life doesn't mean that you're in a constant state of euphoria and constant state of joy, because the thing is, life doesn't work like that. Life is full of ups and downs. It's full of unpredictability. And it's just really unrealistic to expect that you're always going to quote unquote feel happy all the time. So when I talk about creating a happy life, it's not one where we don't ever experience negative emotion or one where we're always feeling this overwhelming feeling of happiness and joy and excitement, but really a feeling of calm and satisfaction and contentment and happiness when we think about the life that we're creating, when we think about the person that we are being in our lives, so that we're creating lives that are meaningful, that are aligning with our values, where we get to show up as the person that we want to be, where we get to have the relationships and experiences that matter to us, where we get to do work that we find to be personally fulfilling and satisfying. That is what I mean when I talk about living a happy life. That is really the essence of One Big Happy Life as a whole, that the goal is to live a fulfilling and meaningful and rich life for us, to take the circumstances that we find ourselves in at any given point in our lives and make the absolute best decisions that we can make for ourselves, so that we're continually showing up in our lives the way that we want to and continually creating the life that we want for ourselves. My whole goal here with One Big Happy Life is to give you the support, the inspiration, the practical tools to help you intentionally create the happy life that you want every single day, starting right now. And there are really four key areas that most of what I talk about and teach about really touch on. So number one is life design. So that means really thinking about the life that you want, being aware of the life that you're creating, and deciding what you want from your life. And that is a process. It is not as straightforward as it seems, because it's also getting that vision to work when you have all of the moving pieces of your life happen. And I know, because I've reinvented or re-envisioned what I wanted for my life multiple times, and it's a process. So transitioning from being an active duty Marine and thinking that maybe I would have stayed in the Marine Corps all the way to retirement, to deciding that I wanted to be a lawyer, that took several years even to transition out of the Marine Corps and into college, and then transitioning from college over to law school before becoming a lawyer. And then similarly, making the transition from being a full-time banking and finance attorney to now being an entrepreneur. That was a whole transition. And then the transition into being a published author. It's all been a process. And along the way, I've had to make a lot of micro decisions about exactly what is it am I looking for? What am I trying to create in my life? And so that's why I spend a lot of time talking about lifestyle design and really thinking through what it is you want in your life. So that means goal setting, prioritization, decision making, deciding who and what you want to be, and then how to actually make those things happen for yourself. Another thing that I talk about is money, because money really does touch on everything. Money is the lifeblood of our society. It's how we sustain ourselves. So managing our money well is essential. Also, because we want to make sure that we have the wealth to support ourselves when we are ready to stop working, or when we choose to stop working, or when we have to stop working. And so we want to make sure that we're balancing using our money to fuel the life that we want along the way, with making sure that we're also growing that money so it can continue to fuel our lives for the rest of our lives, and maybe for generations to come as well, if that's a goal for you. The third thing that I'm going to be talking a lot about here at One Big Happy Life is business. I love being an entrepreneur. It's something that I had no idea about basically like 5 years ago. It was not even on my radar, and it's really changed my life. And I think it's really important for us to have these conversations around how to build a business. How can you create the work that you want for yourself? How do you have full control over your income so that you're always able to make money even without an employer? Or if you choose to be an employee but you want to make some extra money, that you can build a business on the side. So I'll be talking a lot about building a freedom business, building a dream business, and what it takes to do that. And then lastly, I'm going to be talking about productivity, meaning how can we use our time effectively? How do we build in the habits and routines and daily practices that really form the life that we want, that make it easier for us to create our lives, so that we're spending our time on the things that matter and not on the things that don't. So that's what you can expect going forward.